Story title: Cheating ex-wife is trying to crawl back after her cheating. I restrained her advancement. I, 35 male, was married to Zoe, 32 female, for 6 years. We got a divorce at the beginning of last year. She had thought I was cheating, I wasn't, and cheated, in retaliation. I found out and ended things immediately. We didn't have any kids and the house was mine, so it was a really quick process. Zoe didn't take the divorce well. She wanted to work on things. I believe that there's no coming back from infidelity like that. She told everyone she knew that I had given up on our marriage and abandoned her. That's just a little background on the situation. My grandmother is an amazing woman who needs round-the-clock care, due to her deteriorating mental state. Physically she's probably healthier than any of us. But she has trouble remembering things, if she took meds, shut off the stove, etc. She lives in a really great group home, and I see her often. After our divorce, Zoe asked if she could keep visiting my grandmother, and I said yes. However, I began to realize that Zoe was using my grandmother as a tool to get back in my good graces. She was giving my grandmother framed photos from our wedding to keep on her bedside. She would tell her stories as if the two of us were still married. She would give my grandmother messages to give me, example, Zoe told me to tell you, you're the love of her life, etc. It happened for a short time before I contacted Zoe and told her to stop. It was confusing and frustrating for me and my grandmother when I had to constantly be reminding her that Zoe and I weren't married anymore. Zoe stopped for a while, and the only issue we were having was that she'd happened to come to visit my grandmother whenever I would be there. My grandmother has a calendar on her wall where I mark down all the days I am going to come see her. I'm pretty sure my ex was taking photos of it or something. Recently, I began seriously dating a woman named Claire. On my last Zoom call with my grandmother, she was extremely agitated, and when I asked her why, she said she was extremely upset to hear from Zoe that I was throwing away our relationship to date an underage floozy. My girlfriend is 28 years old and a paralegal. I had told my grandmother about her a few weeks ago, and she had been extremely happy for us. I called Zoe and told her she wasn't allowed to visit my grandmother anymore. I called home and told them not to accept calls or visits from her. My ex-wife says I'm depriving her of a woman she sees as her own blood. I say that this is the last time I'm going to have her emotionally manipulate my grandmother and upset her for Zoe's own selfish reasons. Am I the butthole for doing this to her?